Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I am your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon Miacc, who's a human fighter and the captain of the ship.
Hey, I'm James. I play Ockar, human paladin from Brawl, and uh, I'm second in command and the one that gets stuff done.
Hello everyone, I'm Salem Motor. I play Finnel'ar Mohani, a druid from Grayspace.
Hello, I'm Levalithana, an elven wild mage.
Hey there, I'm Zarkad. I play the character of Lafdul Moonglade, a specialty priest thief from Wildspace, from Ebha, glorious place, great place for elves, no one else though. He comes up with fun titles. His current title is the Callous Connoisseur of Contraband Curiosity. I wanted contrabanded or something, but I couldn't find the right word. Hey, thanks for me. Wow, don't all be quiet.
Yeah. So, quick note, just want to let you guys know that I've made some further changes to what I introduced last week with regards to the bits and the channel points. I have brought back the critical hit and critical fumble, but I've reduced the prices a little bit, and they can be used for other normal rolls. But they're still pretty expensive. If you had just enough to get two before, then you have enough to get two now. But it wouldn't take too long to get to the next one. But they are a little bit cheaper. And I've removed the overall restriction, but now they're limited to one per person per stream. So one person cannot redeem more than one in a stream. And for the players, you cannot redeem them for yourself. You can redeem them for other players, but not yourself. As to the bits, now those are rerolls. They are carried over. And I think that I'm going to try and go with requiring you guys to declare that you're using it before you make a roll rather than afterwards. And we'll see how that goes.
We're the equivalent of having advantage.
Yeah, it's kind of like the and there are spells in and effects in AD&D that do that, but so it's not like a brand new thing for that edition. But that's essentially what it is. If you have a critical roll that you feel like you really want to maximize your chance of getting it done, you can use one that you have stored up. Right now, I have one, Braxon has one, Finn has one, Ockar has one, Solas has one, and Lafdul and Leva both have two.
For rerolls?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was that guy on YouTube that was making notes of them. That's how I knew how many I had. Whoever that guy is. I think it was Tom, wasn't it? Might have been someone else.
I think it was someone else.
Yeah.
I think that was B. Nelson. And some of those are courtesy of Anghamarand on Friday, since he wasn't going to be able to make it to the stream today. Anyway, we left off last time. You had captured a whale ship and defeated the Illithids and most of the crew with the help of some friendly summoned giant crabs. And I am probably going to go take off these auras now that they are not necessary anymore.
And then after the fight, they started dancing.
If you were on Discord, yes, you would have seen that. Alright, so let me get rid of these auras so that they're not in the way. There we go. Alright, so you have gotten a quick survey of the materials on board the ship, the crew, the prisoners. You rescued quite a few prisoners, 60 Herwati and 60 creatures that Margoth referred to as Quaggoths or Deep Bears. and you have a choice now on how you want to dispose of this ship, and what you want to do with it.
Is it made of wood or mushroom?
It is made of wood.
I think we should talk to Margoth and see if we're allowed to take the slaves to the special place, or if we need to meet with someone, bring them back here.
Margoth will. I mean, so it's going to depend on which slaves you're talking about, which prisoners you're talking about. Because there's two different groups. There were 60 Herwadi and 60 Quaggoths.
Well, weren't the Quaggoths creatures that live on the terrain?
Yeah.
So I can't speak for anyone else, but I would have thought we'd just take them down to the surface and drop them off.
If that's what they want.
Yeah, well, we can ask them.
Okay. Yeah, Margoth has to interpret for you.
Yeah, we'd have Margoth interpret and ask if they just want to be set down on the surface again.
Yeah.
So through Margoth, they will say that they would prefer to be returned home, but they cannot direct you exactly where that is. So she then asks if they would like to be taken to the nearest community, and they say that that would be fine. She conveys to you that, and near as she can tell, all of their elders were killed. So all of their leaders were killed. And
Right.
They have none of them, no like equivalent of shamans or chieftains or anything like that anymore.
Well, there's a community right nearby, isn't there?
There are a number of communities down on the surface, yeah. So Margoth would indicate that she should be able to help you find one fairly easily.
Okay.
I keep wanting to call them Hawaii, but they're
that is, you keep calling them Hadazi, but
I
they
keep calling
are
them Hadazi, but they're Hawaii. That's it. They both begin with H. Yeah, the Hawaii speak common, so we might want to consider whether they want to come with us. We've also got some of the orcs. Would they be unwelcome in the secret place? Seeing as they've worked for the mind flayers, there might be a security risk.
Isn't it just dropouts in there?
Margoth would say that they would take custody of them and try to teach them a better way of living.
Right. So either we drop them off somewhere on the surface, or we take them with us and they become prisoners, I suppose.
Something like that, yeah.
At the end of the day, if they can change sides, there's no reason why they can't change.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, what do we want to do justice-wise? They didn't hurt us personally.
They didn't harm us, and they joined our side, then there's no reason to kill them, put it that way.
I
As much
agree.
as I despise those kinds of... Lafdul stammers off to himself.
Yeah, they helped us out. I see a reason why not.
So
Okay.
we could talk to them and offer them the choice of, we can just drop them off on the surface and they take care of themselves, or if they want to come with us, then they probably have to carry out some sort of remedial action.
None of you speak Orc, correct?
Braxon have a special ring.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you want to you want to tell them that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have magical swag.
Well, I can carry on conversing with the rest of the party first, in case anyone thinks it's a bad idea. Anyone got any opinions?
No, but you'd be able to observe any nefarious plots because they might not realise that you understand them. No, I think that'd be a bit too much. There are only a couple of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think all the
Brax-
let me double check something. I think all the ogres got eliminated.
Yeah, wasn't it most of the orcs that got killed? It was just like an ogre.
Let me double check. I think there were 15. Yeah, there's 15 orcs.
Oh, didn't we have to
And-
do a lot of checks to see how many people we saved? Or
Yeah.
did we do that? I can't remember.
Yeah. That's how many orcs survived. 15 orcs. I don't think any ogres survived.
Yeah. So, anyone got an issue with that?
Not really.
Rescue? Got any opinions? Lever? Ockar?
What?
Fine.
I'm good.
You're fine with if we put them down. All right. Brax did the check with Margoth.
I mean, Margoth told you that her community would take custody of them.
Yeah. So, would they rather take custody of them, or if they don't want to be
You would
taken
definitely
into
get
custody?
the impression from Margoth that, like, she just kind of like tells you matter-of-factly that her community would take custody of them.
Right.
Whatever that entails. So it's like you either accept our way of life, or there's not
Yeah.
much alternative really.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we want these people to help us, so it looks like Margoth doesn't want us to let them go.
Well, I mean, it's not so much that as like, again, you'd get the impression from her that this is the obvious best
This is
result,
okay.
rather than just like tossing them
All
out
right.
there and hoping that they survive and
Yep.
having no
Okay.
idea what comes of them.
Okay. Braxon, I say we'll go with your wisdom then.
The orcs are very clearly listening to her directions on things, since they've already helped, like, move things around, open things up for
Yeah.
you, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They seem unusually loyal to her at the moment.
Right.
Can I roll
Okay.
spellcraft on that to see if that she might have used magic?
Sure.
That's possible. Yeah.
Because that seems a bit suspect to me. Yes. Nope.
So another
Any
thing,
magic.
another thing that I saw in the forums is that the 3D dice are not showing the proper rolls.
Oh.
So, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing a 3 on that die.
Yeah, I'm seeing a 3
Yes.
even though I rolled
Yeah.
a 17.
So, just FYI,
Check.
we will be using the numbers in the chat. So if it looks like a success, but the chat box indicates not, that's what we're going with.
Is it always the number that's on top? Or is it random?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Let's see.
I mean, I rolled 3d6 and only one was incorrect before.
No, it isn't. It's. I was wondering whether it's always the same surface in comparison to the one we see, but it isn't, because I just rolled one and it shows that 6 and 13 is totally hidden.
Yeah. I mean, some of them it does. Some of them it does look like it might be a case of bumping or something like that. Like from the 3D graphics, it pretty clearly looked like that one would have hit the edge of something on my screen, and that might be causing it. I don't know, but just they're, as far as I know, they're aware of it and looking into it. But we'll be using the numbers that it actually shows up in the chat box.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. As for the Herwadi, they had told you that that they were crew on a ship, part of a tribe that was just traveling through this sphere
Right.
on their way someplace else, and they're just more like migratory, take on odd jobs. They had some cargo at the time, but the mind flayers didn't consider it valuable, so they tossed it overboard.
Okay.
But they would indicate to you that some of the valuables that the Illithids had were from their tribe.
Okay. All right. We'll go through with that then. What about the I forgot the name of them. The lot that were on the surface. Do they have
Quaggoths,
any?
the deep bears.
Yeah.
They Margoth would indicate to you that they would have had like quite a bit of jewelry, but nothing of a manufactured nature.
Right.
So it would have been like bone and shell and wood or mushroom wood and stuff like that. So and you didn't find any of that, so you'd guess that that has been removed,
Right.
eliminated.
So they've tossed that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me double check on what the
So
Herwady
can we
would
get
indicate to you.
can we get 60 of those creatures on the shuttle?
Shuttle.
Yeah.
No.
You
No?
can
Really?
it would just be very much very
Sorry.
very tight.
Yeah.
That's where we need like a mass reduce or something.
Okay. Well, I guess we could fly down. Can we take everyone on our ship and then fly down and load them down on ropes or something?
I mean, you got a whale ship right now. You might have to.
Can the
We'd have
whale
to-
ship land?
We'd have to mount a helm, and we might have to get rid of whatever helm is on there. The only thing we found was that pool, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, that pool might be some sort of magical helm. Would Braxon know if that was a helm?
I think from you can easily draw the
serious.
conclusion that that is because there is a chair there.
Right.
That's attached to the pool.
Yeah. So I think we might need to, unless one of the spellcasters wants to sit in that and see if they can spell jam,
No.
we might have to destroy that pool.
Well, you know that thing's worth a lot to Illithids of the right cultural mindset.
Well, I think we'd have to demount it from the ship to get another helm to work.
Yeah, I suppose.
I can try.
Do we know what type of helm it is, or don't we?
Probably some kind of series helm. Some
It's
kind.
It's a jacuzzi helm.
What's a
that's a joke.
jacuzzi?
That's a joke. Braxton never said that.
Is that a food?
That's bad role playing.
That's only for fish. That's only for fish.
Well, it looks like
So
It looks like
Leva will
this.
be prepared to sit on it and try it out and see what happens.
there's some sort of tadpoles in it.
Well, take the tadpoles out, and Leva is prepared to sit
Wow.
on it.
You might accidentally sit on one or something. You never know.
No.
So the pool itself is like 10 feet across, 10 feet in diameter, with at least a foot or two of water in it. Like that's a lot of tadpoles to try to scoop out.
Yeah.
How did we find the?
Does Solas have
What was
lightning
it?
bolt?
The person, the creature, who was on the helm before?
You have no idea who was on the helm. There wasn't anyone on the helm when you got here, when you got into the room.
I thought we saw somebody.
No,
Nope.
we gave them Spelljammer shock, so whoever was on the helm is no longer on the helm.
Oh, if there was Spelljammer shock, then maybe there will be somebody passed out.
That's a good point. We should try and find
there
if
was
there is
this
someone
guy-
unconscious.
There was this. No, there was somebody who died.
Mm-mm.
Would-
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, like Spelljammer Shock is the game effect of the critical hit that you got. You would not
Yeah.
know exactly what happened other than the fact that the
yeah,
ship
sure.
stopped.
Yeah, we don't know it's spelled shock.
And you have no idea why or what may have happened. I mean, like, you could draw the conclusion that somehow their helm malfunctioned on them.
Yeah.
I have an
But
idea.
you have no experience with this helm whatsoever. You have no idea how that may have done anything at all. Like, it's just way outside of your experience.
Okay. So
Though, would like to ask Margot to ask the survivors, as it were, is this all the Illithid and all their captors that they know of? Are any missing?
You're
i.e.
asking
a
the
head
orcs?
count? Yeah, essentially.
So she turns to the orcs and asks, and turns back to you and says, "Yes, they indicate that everyone is accounted for."
Oh. Can we check which faction this is? Out of the two
What?
Illithid factions.
The orcs would indicate that this is an Outsphere Illithid trader.
Ah, right. So
No?
not one of the factions we got asked to deal with.
Oh, it's a shame we can't read any of their logs, because they're all going to be in Illithid script.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one day Braxon will learn to read logs.
I mean, there's powerful magic that just straight up allows you to read any text, regardless.
At the moment, Brax is practicing reading sticks.
So yeah, you have no idea how this helm works. Leva, you were saying that you were willing to take a seat and see what happens?
Yes.
Okay. You get a kind of a pulsing headache. Not a terrible one, just kind of like, kind of thing. And that's it. Nothing else
Nothing
happens.
happens. She gets off. Oh, my head. But it's okay. I don't know if I couldn't make it work. Oh, God. I have to go and lie down, I think.
Well, the headache, I mean, it's not that bad. It's more of just like this pressure. And once you're off the helm, it goes away in just a handful of minutes.
Maybe
okay.
it works. Maybe it works for people that aren't spellcasters.
Well, go ahead.
Braxton to give it a go.
Okay. You also feel a similar headache, and nothing happens.
Maybe it's a special helm that only Illithids could use because of their whole mind power thing.
Yeah,
Probably
maybe.
something to do with the invisible art.
Does anyone know what these tadpoles are?
No.
Nope.
Margoth says, "I've heard that they're young Illithids,
Oh,
Lovely.
but I've never seen them myself."
oh, so we should destroy them, is what you're saying?
What,
Yeah.
would you kill babies of another,
Well,
It's a
how
bit...
exactly do the stories say that these are supposed to work?
So there's a lot of different stories. Some just say that they grow up. But then, of course, there's always the tavern tales of that Illithids stick them in the heads of prisoners and they take over and become Illithids themselves. Others say that if you accidentally eat one, or they swim into open wounds and do the same kind of thing. Margoth would say that she would recommend against trying to bathe in this pool.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should destroy these because
I agree
if
with
they
the
get
captain.
down on the surface, they might breathe. And
Are the lizards sort of bad by nature, or could these be raised as, quote, good illithid?
problem is the problem is they eat brains. So they might not be bad.
Don't we have some cows?
No,
Yes.
You do have some
but-
cows, yes.
but not nearly enough for this.
Well, they're only not even toddler equivalent age-wise, so...
I still feel like it's best if we just get rid of them.
Can you
Yeah.
be like an adoptive father for them, Ockar?
No!
You just take them all into you.
No!
Braxon.
Little
Braxon's
one on
tiny
your
little
shoulder.
lizards, you know, like little
I'm gonna
cats.
punch you.
Braxon's no punching, please. Braxon's gonna get out the stick of many buttons, and he's gonna try and chase one around the water with the heat.
Wow,
I don't know whether I can burn the water away.
No, you're
Nice.
you're just being cruel to
Did we
them.
just destroy them? Why are you teasing them?
He's not. He's gonna try and chop one in half.
Why would you
they're,
want to do
they're,
that?
They're tadpoles.
To
You
kill
can't
it.
like you'd squash it more than chop it in half. It's like not even like half an inch long.
Yeah, but he's
They're
worried about
tadpoles.
it going
All
through
right,
his skin.
Lafdul's gonna get his ring of telekinesis on. He's gonna see if he can levitate one up, so people can at least observe it in midair.
Why are we
That's not
messing with these? Let's just get rid of them.
Yeah, we need to work out how to kill them without them getting
That-
inside people.
It's simple. We have Leva or Solas cast a lightning bolt into the thing.
What? Fry them.
That
Yes.
might work.
Fried tadpoles. I
For
think that's
a
now,
little cute
for
to
now,
have.
Solus is not going to have any spells available for that kind of thing.
Then we can just use Braxton's trident.
Shocking grasp would work.
I'm a bit worried that it might bounce out the water and come back and hurt some of us.
Then we do it from a distance.
Doesn't
Well,
Beowulf
Ebha
want a snack?
could enlarge one.
I'm not doing. I'm gonna punch Lafdul for that suggestion.
Lafdul's gonna tumble out of the way.
How many
Hang
of
on.
them are there? Are there more than 10?
The water is kind of murky, so it's very difficult to see.
Is there any way we can
Do
boil
you
the
fall
water?
over into the pool by accident?
I'm not saying
No,
close
he
to
does
it.
not. He does not fall into the pool. But
Oh, come on, that was a what?
I think Lafdul tumbles and trips Ockar with that one.
Well,
God.
Ebha has a fireball still.
Then we'll roast him with a fireball.
It might burn the room, so we'd have to back off.
You could just drain the walls.
Have you got that spell that stops you getting damaged by fire?
We just got rid of all the auras, but
Yeah, but even so, that only helps against the blowback. You can't stand in the normal area of effect of a fireball.
that's true. Yes, I know
Finn
that.
can.
Well,
Finn,
we- Finn
do you have
can?
some fire?
We don't want to set anyone on fire.
Are you volunteering the druid?
No, Finn said this before on occasion. I would be perfectly fine in a fireball if I have the right spell.
Actually, I agree with what Lafdul said before. Let's drain the water and just let him die that way.
Same with spell immunity, actually, considering I've been fireballed before.
Well,
If
hang
we
on.
can just,
Cruel.
if we can just,
You're cruel. You just let them there flopping around until they die slowly of asphyxiation because
Hang
they
on.
can't get.
You
If we try,
assume that they breathe water.
if we try to drain the water, they might get out and get through the floorboards. We want to make sure we get them.
oh, true. Maybe we could pour acid into it?
I wonder what would happen if I'd cast chaos on them and they'd start fighting each other.
Yeah,
could
they can't.
cast
Hey,
there,
Ald?
not there. I could cast
Yes,
there,
Finn.
not there on the pool.
If I were to cast Produce Fire onto the surface of the water, would the flash fire be enough to boil the water?
Not all of this water, no.
Flash.
Keep in mind, it is a 10-foot diameter pool.
Yeah.
Does it even have a drain?
Not an obvious one that you can see.
When?
So, okay, are you volunteering of getting in and searching for the drain?
Oh,
Hell no.
When,
hang on. What's this made out of?
It seems to be some sort of stone-like material.
Why stone?
Oh, wait. Do any of us know stone shape?
No, I was thinking of heat
No.
metal. But
yeah. You could
Well-
put a piece of metal in.
Well, if one of us had stone shape, we could just crush them.
Maybe. When Braxon put his sword in, did it let off a lot of steam?
Yeah.
flamings.
It also extinguished the sword.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I don't think the flaming sword's gonna last very long in this.
Okay.
Is there any reason why we need to do this now and can't do it tomorrow?
We
Well,
can do it tomorrow, but we have to make sure that nobody goes in here so they don't accidentally like fall in or something.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Put some guards there.
Well, we can certainly try mounting a helm if you want to try flying this ship down to the surface. We'll have to split our crew into two, so we've got enough people to crew the ship.
Would
And
any
we
of the
could go-
Herwady volunteer to assist?
Might assist. That might be possible. We could ask them. I'd be slightly concerned though if we don't bring enough of our crew that we'd be putting a helm worth a heck of a lot of money
Here's a thought.
onto a ship that could get stolen.
Maybe we should. How should I best put this? Maybe we should check to see if any of the prisoners, the Lithids did anything weird to them, like put one of these in their head or something.
It might be
How
possible.
would we check?
It might
we
be possible.
just ask them. At least that's the best way of doing for now.
Sure.
It might be possible that someone's been charmed. We could check for something like that if we've got spells.
Well, I mean, just ask to see if these guys put like one of these tabloids in their brain or something.
None of them will indicate that has happened to their awareness.
Yeah.
When's the last time one of their people disappeared? Under mysterious circumstances, shall we say?
The Quaggoths haven't been with the Lithids all that long. Just a matter of days. The Herwady have been with them for a week-ish, give or take. They're not sure exactly on time. The Orcs have been with them since they came in from, since they left their home sphere. And the Orcs, you would guess, are conditioned to not take notice of that kind of thing.
So the orcs might have been messed about with.
Meanwhile, the Herwady and the Quaggoths, both of them indicate that some of their leaders were captured with them, and they have not seen them. So.
Yeah, and we haven't found them, so they're gone.
You can
We have-
reasonably surmise that they've been eaten.
Yeah, we've searched the whole ship by this time, haven't we?
Yeah.
We didn't find any like skulls or anything.
Do we know that?
Nothing obvious. I mean, they probably just got disposed of.
Do we know
Yeah.
that Illithid prefer smarter people in their dining diets?
That is again one of the rumors.
Alright.
Okay,
Like
so
there's so little concrete information because the Lithids don't actually talk to you about this kind of thing. You're a lesser race. Why would they talk to your type of people? You know.
so
Is this pool bigger than 10 feet diameter?
No, it's 10-foot diameter.
so we can
So-
try putting our helm on the ship if we want to move this ship.
Would-
We'll have to supply our own helmsmen, and we will need enough people to guard them, even if the Huati agree to assist us.
I mean, you could also tow it with the flitter.
We can tow it with a fritter. Oh yes, it's 90 tons, is it?
Mhm.
Oh yes, we can put Major Helm on the flitter and just tow it. That's better.
Yeah. Leva, you had a
If-
question?
Yes. Would fireburst work?
The problem is like you need sustained heat to boil this water.
I don't want to boil the water. It's a matter of all creatures within 10 feet of the fire source suffer 1d3 plus 1 point of damage per level of the caster.
Yeah, if they're underwater.
Yeah, but they're
That
underwater.
work.
They're underwater. The water might get hot. The surface, things on the surface might get scalded and stuff like that. But it takes time to transmit that amount. Of heat.
Clearly, the safest option is to plane shift them. Clearly.
Oh yeah.
Don't you want a pet, illicit? That you can raise as your own and...
No.
I've already got a skull.
No.
Don't need the skull, I mean a friend.
You don't make friends of illithids most times.
This is
Don't.
only a tadpole. It's not even a real illicit yet.
That's
Well.
possibly worse.
You know, they might not even be illithids. They might be some sort of creature that the illithids eat, or they might be some sort of magical creature that powers their ships for them. We don't know.
They might be vermins, in which case the protection from vermin would work.
It would not work on them.
Well, that's why I was going to try and chase one around, and chop it up, but
Why don't you take a net and pull it out instead of chasing it with a sword-like thing?
yeah, unfortunately, I've not done much fishing. We got rid of all our harpoons.
Yeah, you're gonna try and harpoon something that's less than a centimeter in length.
I don't think you're quite that skilled, Braxon.
I have a net, but they'd fit through the net, and plus I don't want to despoil my lovely pristine net that I've never used. Yeah.
Well, that might work. Should we use the flitter then? Because we tow it with a flitter.
Probably. And just make sure that nobody gets anywhere near this thing.
Does Solas or Leva know the shock and grasp spell? Because that might work. Couldn't she just touch the surface of the water and they'd all get shot?
She's probably... Is she injured? Yeah, she's injured.
Hmm?
And they could
It
possibly
wouldn't be
slip
today.
into an injury.
Anyway, she doesn't have any shocking or lightning spells.
Which makes me wonder, why don't you have any?
There's a lot of spells out
Because-
there to get.
True.
I know
Because Leva
Solas...
wasn't very interested in lightning and shock. She much preferred fire.
But it doesn't work in the Phlogiston.
Yeah, that was the point I was going for.
No, it's perfectly fine. There's so many different
I guess,
spells
yeah.
to get, and
I guess, yeah, it's fine.
there's a limit to how many she can have. So
At least
You
until
got
she
any shock and grasp on the scroll?
at least until she has a way to get like 19 intelligence or something, and then there's no limit.
well, she still has to have the spell books. Anyway, it's neither here nor there.
Question?
Yes.
Another question. She has this wand that
Mhm.
can produce a multiple of force-based effects, and one is a plane of force, and the other one is a hand-like force. Could she use that or field of force is the third one, and could she use any one of those to get those tadpoles out?
Field
You'd
force.
have to think of a way to do it. The hand of force is really big, and it's more for like blocking the movement of creatures towards you, kind of thing. And I don't think you can shape the planes of force in such a way to do anything other than like putting a lid on the pool.
Well, that's already something.
It'd be temporary.
How long would that... Oh, no, how long
Very
would that
temporary.
last?
You're not sure, but they're not permanent.
Did we notice a kitchen on this ship?
Yeah, there's a galley.
So were there any ladles that we could use?
Yeah.
So-
But you're talking about a 10-foot wide pool, 1 to 2 feet in depth, and an
Yeah.
unknown number of tadpoles in murky water.
Oh, I know. I just meant we could fish around and see if we could get one or two of them out and see how easy it is to squash them.
I mean, if you have them that close to you, they're really easy to squash. They'd obviously be really easy to squash.
Yeah.
They're delicate
You'd have
creatures.
You'd have to be fast, you know. They might crawl up the ladle onto Ockar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so jump on Ockar because doesn't know. It's almost like they got an affinity for each other.
Well, let's go with the plan of towing it. If we tow it, it's not going to crash when we try to land it, is it?
No.
We have to reattach the barge as well to the dolphin.
Yeah.
Which you should probably chase and find out where it is before it drifts off.
It's not that far. You don't
Shouldn't
have to
be
worry
too
about
far away.
Yeah.
Braxon's going to ask Margoth if there's a suitable town close by we can land at to let some of our passengers off.
She says that if you get down to the surface and look for a couple hours, you should be able to find a Quaggoth cave somewhere.
Should we do that then? Might as well do that. We can worry about this after we've got the Quaggoths off.
Okay.
Suppose.
That sounds good to everyone?
Yeah.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Lafdul is. How long does vials of illithid ichor last? Because I assume the ones that I've still kept on my person, apparently, because I'm looking at my character, I apparently have 10. I assume that they would have gone off, because that was when we did the Dwarven Sister, I think.
Yeah,
Not
you
gone
would,
off,
you would know that
ruined.
the best you could probably do is about a month.
Alright, so I'm going to empty all them out and replace illithid ichor.
Okay.
Because we've got some fresh specimens that have donated themselves to Lafdul's cause.
Okay.
How easy is it for you to do those spells where you talk to dead people?
Just needs a day's rest, why?
Well, there's some more illithids here. They might know the way home.
Actually, I need an instance every time I use it, so yeah.
They might know the way home, but I don't know whether you have to use something irreplaceable to cast a spell.
It's not irreplaceable. It's something I use, and I do eventually run out of it. But I have
The
enough.
likelihood that a handful of random illithids in a sphere far away from your home would know how to get back to your home is very unlikely. And if they did, it would basically be through their space.
Yeah, but
So,
we might be able to find out something about the surrounding spheres. Did we find any charts?
Oh, actually, we could inquire about the.
let me put it this way:
one?
you know all the things about the neighboring spheres that I have developed.
No, they might know stuff about the illithids, and then getting their hands on easy access helms. At the end of the day, the Arcane just wanted the information. That was at least part of the deal.
Yeah, but apparently these aren't the illithids we're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, this is an outsphere illithid. They're going to be with a different illithid nation, and they're traders. They're in here looking for slaves to trade. They may have been to one of those communities as well. The orcs will tell you that they visited a couple of ports in here, but they're still outsphere traders. I mean, they're not going to know very much.
Right, but you could take these heads to the Arcane and cast a spell for them.
Oh, I just
ask questions.
The likelihood that they would know anything that the Arcane want to know is extremely remote.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have an oil or
I'm partly sharing this with you so that you don't waste time going on wild goose chases.
But wild goose chases are fun.
They are,
D&D's
but
about.
when
Okay.
part of it is so again and part of this is for the sake of the viewers. I put that arcane plot hook in more as an idea of with the expectation and hope that you guys would be like, wow, that sounds dangerous. Let's do anything other than that. Thanks. That was my goal with that. I have not been terribly successful.
Well, you were successful with me, but when we stumbled into a ship that we had to attack anyway, I thought maybe we accidentally succeeded at a goal we didn't want to succeed at.
No, they're not going to know
partial
anything.
goal.
They're not going to know anything about any of that.
Okay.
Could I surmise if my oil with the aura of death would kill the little things?
You can surmise that it probably wouldn't because they'd need to be able to smell it.
Oh.
because that's essentially a perfume or cologne.
I have an idea.
I don't like this idea.
You don't like this idea? You've not even heard
Because
it yet.
it's after I've spoken, and it's obviously being built upon what I've just said, so that's why I don't like it.
No, it's not being built upon what you said. We've got cooking implements here,
Mhm.
and we don't necessarily need to do this now. We could put down our visitors first, because this might be better on the ground when it's nice and stable. We can bring a cooking pot into the room. We could ladle out some of the water into the cooking pot, boil it, and if we see any tadpoles in the water we take out, we can squash them, and we can slowly get rid of the water.
It's easier just to use magic to kill them than mundane means. You
Yeah, I
just
know.
need the right spell.
Okay.
What do you want to do? I mean, if we take a few gallons out of that and cook it, what's the point?
Well, if there's anything in the water, it'll get killed, and then we can sling the water over the side of the ship.
And you do that. How much water is in that? You said 10 feet
Mhm.
old.
Yeah, there's a lot of water in there.
It'll take a while.
That's how much is that? That's not cubic. Is it round or is it square?
It is round, yes.
It'll take a while, but we could eventually make sure that we check through individual pots of water and do our best to make sure there's nothing in there that's going to get into the local environment.
10 hours later, there's this last tadpole here.
How
Yeah,
would
and then
the-
if there's tadpoles,
I'm not sure that 10 hours would be enough.
yeah, okay.
I have
It's
never
not-
tried to boil a pool of water one pot at a time.
No.
If
It's like
somebody's
giant hot rocks.
if somebody's
Finn,
got
you are the other cook. What do you think our
thought you were
biggest
the cook.
pot? Yeah, Levi is cook, but Finn is the other cook, and maybe he has different pots. So let's see who has the biggest pots and how big are they?
No, Old's never going to put illithid tadpoles on any of his ships ever again.
Oh no, I'm going to put them in every single one.
So Levi vetoes that
well,
particular idea.
if-
Unless
hang
Braxon
on.
is the one who
Yeah.
carries the water.
Well, if any of you have a more effective way to sanitize this water,
Yes.
then we'll go with that. But
I heard one mentioned offhand.
okay,
I'm not going to say what it was. That's for you guys to figure out.
damn.
It is an idea that I've been sitting on, being like, you could just do this.
How heavy is that thing?
As far as you can tell, it's
Built into it, isn't it?
well, let's just say that it is firmly attached to the ship.
Okay.
It is not a movable, like, clearly movable thing. I mean, you could probably cut out the deck plating and stuff like that, but, you'd be having water sloshing around. A 10-foot wide stone pool filled with water is not going to be light.
If
Yeah.
Leo were to cast a fireball onto it,
You would just... Fireball would not work.
So the problem again with Fireball is that it's a quick burst of flame. It is probably not going to penetrate the entire amount of water.
she could cast 2 of them. Well, she actually could cast several more.
Right, but the
If
problem
Finn were
is
to lower the water with a lower water spell, would that work?
I mean, if you lower the water to nothing, then yeah, you can just Fireball.
You can
all of
lower it down to 1 inch. I'm looking at the spell description. I assume
that might
Finn
work.
would
That might work.
Levi has something. Just checking it. Yes. Levi has animate water. She could get the water to go to flow out.
How much water?
Just a moment. It's the area 5 feet cube per level.
Wouldn't the tadpoles just go with the water?
Yeah, they
Or
might.
try and- Which, I mean, if it's
Amazing.
going overboard, then it doesn't matter to us.
Well, so far, apart from the plan that will work, that Ald's not told us about. I've not heard of anything.
No, the
better.
lower water one would work.
Somebody
Then
could
there.
turn the water to mud as it comes out.
Huh?
Oh, hang on. You guys can freeze things, can't you?
Lafdul has a very tiny little dagger that can do a ice block around it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You need an ice storm might work. Chunks of ice would drop the temperature, but it would soon return.
Yeah, it still wouldn't
Yep.
freeze that much water solid.
Well, the water can be made to climb gentle grades.
Yeah, but the
And-
point is that the tadpoles
We
would
wanna-
still be inside of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we want
well,
to
who
destroy
cares
the
if
tadpole.
if Leva pushes it out the ship? Would
Braxon
anyone care?
cares. Braxon
Why?
cares. He does because if these things get onto the ground and turn into mind flayers or gigantic creatures that eat people,
Well, why don't you just put a big net in front of it and Leva puts directs the
water
water to
through.
flow through the net? Then you have all the tadpoles in one single space, and you can jump up and down on them until they're all squished.
well, yeah, we can try getting a net when we get somewhere.
You're not going to get a net that is
That fine.
that fine. You
Yeah.
need something like
You
a
get a
sieve.
plank of wood and you drain holes for it. Get nails for it, something small enough that the tadpoles couldn't get. And even then, that would take ages for the water to drain, and Leva would probably lose her spell at that point.
I mean, the thing is that there are plenty of completely normal, mundane ways that you could do this, and then there are some ways that you could speed that up with magic. And I've heard them all mentioned. That's the thing that gets me.
Braxon, I mean, you have this wand that makes lightning. Lightning would charge the water. So why don't you use that? Easy.
It's a
They all
star.
die.
It's this trident that's got very little
Trident.
charges left.
Yeah.
He said
Solas
he also said he's afraid of the lightning bolt reflecting.
Yeah.
Because Solas
Yes,
actually
but
knows
then
the
we
spell.
all leave the room and he does it from outside, and then we close the door and have it jump up around the place as much as he'd want.
You can't close the door
So-
that quickly.
So how much
Solas-
water would this be?
So it's between 1 and 2 feet deep. 10-foot diameter pool.
So cubic feet wise,
I have no idea.
The lower water spell should, by the look.
well,
You've
I was
tuned
thinking
into
of just
D&D
doing
maths.
I was thinking of just doing destroy water.
Do you
Oh.
know that spell?
Yeah, that will do.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to figure out how many times I'd need to cast it. But I can do.
What levels? Oh, it's
Figure this
the first
out.
level spell.
Says
Create water, destroy water.
up to 27 cubic feet.
Solas could do that as well.
What did you say? 10 feet, but round.
Mm-hmm.
If we do it square. 10
I mean, worst case scenario, I'd say two spells would probably be able to do that.
All right, I can do that tomorrow then.
Thank you. Okay, we'll do that.
Somebody needs to go collect some dust for me though.
Dust. Okay. How much dust do you need?
Just a pinch each.
Probably mud dust or something, not wood dust.
Sure, if we
Okay.
just move a bookshelf out of the way, we can find some.
Yeah, dust is pretty easy to find. All right. So that's is that the plan? Well, I mean, you could then fireball or do some other spell that
Yeah.
area of effect
Couldn't
within it.
Solas just memorize Lightning Bolt tomorrow? Because I know he has the spell.
Solas
He could just-
isn't here, so there's a couple things that he told me he would do, but he's not a tool that you can just deploy when he's not here. That's the thing. When players are missing, their characters do very, very minimal things.
Yeah.
So what happens when I'm not here and there's an obvious trap that needs to be disarmed, but the party doesn't make me go through the process of being precautious? I mean, effectively, I get the blowback for it.
Not necessarily, because I won't, like, the thing, though, is that one thing that I don't want to have happen is the party be just like, oh yeah, have Lafdul disarm it, and then the roll fails and your character gets killed while you're not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what... But I can't see the, obviously, blowback from a lightning bolt, that's
Yeah.
all.
When I'm not here, Braxon will be doing brass rubbings of interesting veneers of wood.
The thing is I also don't know if Solas would be willing to do this.
Yeah, he does.
Alright.
And
Solas
because
does
of
have
that,
morals.
I don't want to say, yeah, he'll go ahead and do that, and then he comes back and be like, no, I never would have done that. So I'm not making those things for him. If you're talking about detect magic and read magic and stuff like that and identifies, whatever, that's fine. If people are supplying what he needs for it, that's fine. Because there's no issue of role-playing questions of whether they'd be willing to do it or not. So
I think we have a process, so we don't need to do anything. Our druid can solve the problem, and we might have to get in there and smash up. I think Braxon probably find some off cuts of wood or something that we can just squish these without having to touch them with our hands and stuff.
If you kill the water, presumably they would asphyxiate, so,
Yeah, but I
It's-
still want to squish them. You're not
He'll be
going to want
dead.
to take any chances.
all right, so unfortunately, it looks like the volume is about 160 cubic feet. That is a lot more than 2 spells.
Okay.
Solas has elemental water.
Well, that's fine. If Finn can do a little bit every day, that's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, the question is, would
Alright,
you
yeah.
just want to sit around here and do that?
Oh no. We're gonna if someone's, because we've lost the helmsman in the switchover before the battle, so we'd have to use another helmsman to get the flitter working, or one of the members of the company, the Broken Sword, to control the flitter, and then we'd have to take this down to the surface and let those people off and then take off again. So we could get that done, and then we're gone with 60 people. That'd be a couple of hours, and then we could at the end of the day, when we rest, if we're not near the city, and if we are near the city, we keep everyone away from this, and we can do this in the city. So it's doable. We don't have to be here to do it. We've got a plan. We can implement it later. How's that sound?
I'm just taking a quick look at something. How many destroy waters can you get, Finn?
5. If I take all my first level spells.
Okay, are you willing to do that?
For one day. Shouldn't be a bother.
Okay, I'll let that work. I'll let that work then.
Okay.
So that you have that plan. I think securing the all the cargo and everything like that, and there is plenty of food on board the whale ship as well.
Yeah.
Most of it's fairly low quality. There's also plenty of stuff that you are very suspicious of, but there is some stuff that is adequate and palatable. But you're also going to be going to a port soon, so
Yeah.
you might want to leave that with the ship if that's what you want.
Yeah, I think we'll use the stuff that we know is good to feed the former crew and the liberated slaves, and make sure they've had plenty of water. Braxon's going to look for some cleaning implements and try to get a cup of dust, just so there's enough, or half a cup of dust, whatever.
Okay.
And then leave it somewhere near the pool.
How many illithids were there in total?
Less than 15.
I have 10 containers. Can I get 10 containers worth of vehicle?
Yeah, that's fine.
Just, replace. I'll just put a date down of when I found it. I mean, I'll probably sell it at the port rather than hold on to it like I did last time. Try to, anyway.
Okay. All right, so you go ahead and secure the ship. We'll say that will give you time to rest and go into the next day kind of thing before doing any movement. So you
Wasn't it like crates of stuff?
Yeah, you did find crates of scrolls and potions as well, but you'll probably need some time to look over that.
Were they...
I'm sorry?
Are you under the assumption that we've gone through them already, so to speak?
You've at least done a look over.
So that assumes that we've popped open the crate?
Yeah.
Alright, so they're not trapped?
No.
Alright.
No, everything was safe. There weren't any traps anywhere.
Did we find anything like a ship's log, and is it readable?
You found some things that might have been ship's logs, or they might have just been recipe books, and none of them were readable.
Right.
You found
Do they actually
absolutely
work
nothing
with books?
readable.
They're all illithid script stuff. That's
Yeah.
just their language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be worth taking them and selling them.
Except no one
Well-
else can read them either.
No, but we might be we traded them to some bookstore and anything before.
Yeah, but that was magical spell research. That's generally useful.
Ah, right, fair enough.
All right, so the next day, Finn, you're going to cast Destroy Water on the pool a bunch of times.
Yep.
Okay. You do so, leaving the little tadpoles flopping around, and there are quite a few of them. It is hard to count because they are flopping around so much.
Right, well, Braxon will be smashing them with a plank or something.
I'll be using a mace to try to smash them.
That means you gotta go in.
Yeah, well, Braxon's going to smash everything near the edge.
Just
before
see
he
if
goes.
they die after an hour.
He's still going to smash the ones near the edge.
I'll
Okay.
help near the edge.
Yeah.
And he's not going to use any of his weapons because he doesn't want to get the stuff on his weapons.
Just use your spear.
He's not going to get this stuff on his weapons.
Scrape it off.
If he wants to use a plank, that's fine. He can use
Yeah.
a plank. I don't see any reason why that needs to be questioned. It's fine.
I don't
And-
care. I can clean my own weapons.
Okay.
Or just get out of my way.
Oh, okay. Braxton to get out of Finn's
Oh,
way.
if Finn's got a plan, I'm getting out of his way.
I'll cast Produce Fire centered in the center of the pool.
All right. Does that have a 10-foot radius?
Up to 12 square feet.
You get like a third of it then.
Yeah.
No,
Is
that-
meaning 12 by 12? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 12 feet per side.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah. There is a great whoosh sound, and all the little flopping stops, and there's just cinders left inside.
Thank you. That's probably a lot more humane.
That was my plan, yes.
Pretty good assumption that they would have felt very little, or whatever they felt was very quick. Okay. So you've gotten a major helm mounted on your flitter.
Yeah.
You've also collected up the barge. That's also fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And attach the flitter and tow it down to the surface. And after a number of hours, you do find a Quaggoth village set in a little, some cave complexes close to a water source.
I think when we're doing this, we might be leaving Solas in charge of the battle dolphin, and we go with the whale to make sure we can talk to anyone. Where
That's
we're
fine.
going to drop these people off.
That's fine. Margoth would go
Which-
with you as well.
Yeah, which would get him out the plot.
As a point of reference, before I slept, I would have cast animate statue and my statue back into my room.
Okay.
From my act belt.
Okay, that's fine. So you get the. I mean, I don't think your statue's that heavy that you couldn't carry it back, but
Wow.
that's fine. Whatever.
He's just
It's up to you.
lazy.
Yeah, you can be lazy.
I mean, I've got magic, so...
Okay, that's fine. All right, so you bring both ships down kind of near the surface, and then with the whale ship being towed, you get that down close. Margoth speaks to the local Quaggoths, letting them know what has happened, and she informs you that they will welcome in the new members of the tribe. She also says that given the number, there's probably a pretty good chance that they'll split into two tribes over time, in the next decade or so. But that's kind of normal and expected. They don't have much to the Quaggoths that you saved. Seem somewhat apologetic for not having anything to repay your saving of them. That you get that through Margoth.
Yeah. If they wish to repay us, they can pay this forward and help someone else out at some point.
Margoth conveys that to them. Okay. With that, you return to the. You bring the whale ship back up to the battle dolphin.
Yeah.
This is going to make it a little bit more difficult to get to your destination, because you're going to have that ship fly following you, kind of thing.
So there's 4 helmsmen now.
No,
I mean, I can do one shift reluctantly, I suppose.
We'll have to have 2 helmsmen on the flitter.
Yeah, so I'm saying 4 helmsmen in total. 2 on our ship, 2 on the flare.
Margoth informs you that you're probably about half a day away from the port.
What I suggest we do, as we can get lost, is I suggest we travel for a fairly short distance and then check we're still with each other.
Why don't we just go with just the whale ship and we deal with the flitter? We just leave the battle dolphin where it is somewhere. And we come back to the battle dolphin on the flitter. Presumably, we're going to sell this whale ship or something, or I don't know.
We could do, but if we sell the whale
can't
ship,
take it. It's impractical.
I don't want to keep the whale ship.
Either.
But if we sell the whale ship, we can't bring supplies back on the flitter. It's not big enough.
Yeah, but just deal with one thing at a time. It would mean the casters would have their spells in case we need to.
Well, I'll say this: if you want to make sure that you don't get like lose either ship. It would take a day to get to the port.
Yeah.
But then
I'm
you
thinking
can
if we
get into
do-
the port. You can put down the you can get the whale ship into dock, that kind of thing, and then you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it anymore.
Yeah, we can do little hops, can't we?
That sound good to you?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Are you okay with that, Lafdul?
I guess.
I mean, it's
just
just
thinking-
a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I can do other things other than spells, so. I assume I'd be doing with someone like Ockar or someone, I don't know.
You've got some dead heads you can talk to if you get bored.
Well,
I
no, he
can't
can't.
without magic.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
That's why I'm kind of like, use all my spells. I can't even put Dwemerfil in. Bloody.
Okay. All right. So,
we need 2 helmsmen on the flitter.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I assume Ark is going to be the other. I am presuming. I don't know.
well, no, you have 3 helmsmen
Yeah.
that you've hired.
Oh, I'll go with someone, I guess. Something, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
But it would make sense for one of the other officers, either Braxon or Ockar, to be over, because that's generally how you do things.
Does Ockar want to go with Lafdul or shall I?
I'll go with
Well,
Lafdul.
And he could be the other helmsman, so to speak.
I mean, Lenelius
Yeah.
would be happy to go over if you wanted.
He can't helm now.
Well,
Now,
no,
be
not
for
as
command.
as a helm, but as if you want like a commander type.
Yeah.
A-
And I
a
can help
temporary
with the
captain.
helm if needed, since I've got casting technically.
Oh, it's not the fact that I'm not bothered about my own ability. It's more of a case of I'm just following, like, makes sense, I suppose.
Hmm.
You guys figure it out. It's not a big deal. There aren't going to be any random encounters until you get to the port anyway.
Then
Alright.
there's going to be all the random encounters.
So you guys, it takes you a day to do that, but you do find yourself approaching under the direction of Margoth, approaching a narrow kind of wedge-shaped like split between these 2 rocky outcropping areas. Yeah, Lafdul, the rest of that first day and then one more day. No, yeah, 2 full days. Rest of 1 day, then a day in which you took care of things like getting the pool helm destroyed, and then dropping off the Quaggoths, and then another day to get.
It was just my contact on Paradigms.
Yeah. No, that's fine. All right, so you find yourself approaching this kind of wedge-shaped opening between these 2 big rocky outcropping areas, and Margoth is directing you towards a flat, barren cliff face.
Okay.
And she says, "Yes, it's right in there." You see no opening whatsoever.
Okay, head slow. Let's nudge up against the wall.
Okay.
Braxton's going to ask the helmsman, what's it like with your helm sight? Can you see through that wall?
Helmsman, I don't care who's on the helm right now, indicates that it looks like a solid wall to them.
Take the nose up to the wall and touch the wall with the nose. We'll see if we pass through.
And you do indeed. Turns out to be an illusion.
So tempted to cast Dispel Magic on that.
It's a pretty big illusion. You would guess that the illusion may be more than just a single spell.
It would temporarily disable it.
because you pass through into and find yourself in a fairly large cavern with a good-sized town. It's nothing like the other goblinoid cities that you've seen up to this point. But it's you'd guess probably holds upwards of 1,000 individuals. And it's kind of terraced in that this town is going up a slope, and you can clearly see built-up walls between these levels where the buildings are located. And there are buildings of all different sorts, architecture styles and everything like that. Some that you've never even seen before in this sphere. Some clearly reminiscent of the Goblin Port and the Kobold Port.
Oh, Braxon's going to have given the order around to look friendly, so we don't look like we've got all our weapons ready to shoot.
Hmm.
I've just realised we're a completely unfamiliar ship, and a slaver ship's just about to appear behind us.
Oh yeah, with all the slaver markings.
Well,
So
once you're
everybody-
inside, you realize that this is clearly a one-way illusion. From inside, there's no indication that there's an illusion at all.
Right. Is Margoth able to signal?
Yes.
Braxon will ask Margoth, if there's someone here you can signal to, can you let them know that we've got liberated people from a slaver ship, and we're requesting permission to dock somewhere?
She indicates to you that to point your light in a certain direction towards the town,
Okay.
and then instructs you on some light signals to send.
Okay.
To you, it's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense to you.
Yeah.
Probably should try to remember them now.
He can, but without knowing exactly what he said, like he doesn't know exactly what it means.
It's a bit like someone giving you a string of letters.
Yeah.
Morse code.
Yeah. But if you knew that, it wouldn't help you. You
Well,
need an Enigma machine.
Specifically, it would be like someone instructing you to send Morse code for like an SOS, except you speak Chinese.
Yeah.
So, and not even English. So you do see that there are some towers around the port facilities, and there are ballista and catapults on them, and they are manned and armed, but they are not firing. And as you approach, you do see some figures on the docks kind of waving you into some facilities. They do not have any water facilities, but all of these function as dry docks. You're able to land both the whale ship and your ship in them. There is one triop in the port as well right now, and there are a handful of small eel ships and goblin blades, kind of that you didn't really notice around, but they initially, but you can see them now. Clearly defensive ships. But you would also kind of realize that the main defensive element is the fact that they're well hidden behind an illusion.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And as you're getting tied down, Margoth kind of turns to you and smiles and says, "Welcome to Darildar, my home."
Ah.
So after getting everything tied off, a hulking bugbear kind of stomps up the gangplank onto the front deck of your ship. Looks around. He's got a very wide grin on, and if not for the fact of where you are and that he hasn't made any physical, like, aggressive actions towards you, it is not a grin you would like to see otherwise, because he's got sharp teeth, and it's very disconcerting. It looks like he could just tear into you right now if he wanted to, but he looks around and says in a fairly broken common, but you've gotten used to Margoth's accent, and that's kind of the same accent that he has. And he speaks, "Welcome to the port of Daeldar. It's good to see you again, Margoth. I see you've brought some more stragglers with you today. I am the portmaster. You can call me Motov." He then goes through some basic rules about what's expected for you in the port. And you kind of realize that it's a lot of normal stuff, but also there's very much restrictions on violence and things like that. You're expected to report, like, if you have any disputes, they have magistrates and mediators to handle that.
Right.
So there's a number of regulations regarding that. And then he says, "We will supply you with water, and we have no docking fee. Welcome to Daeldar."
Thank you. My name's Braxon Miacc, says Braxon, and then introduces the rest of the company.
And he's caught sight of some of the dwarves that you have, the Dwarven Marines, and he gives a chuckle and says, "Ah, dwarves, good fighters, good fighters. But I won't fight you today." And he gives them kind of a big wink, and you can tell that the dwarves are kind of grumbling amongst themselves of, like, you don't think that they trust this bugbear at all.
That's
Braxton.
how Lafdul feels about goblins and orcs in general.
Braxton's going to say, well, we have some people on board the whale ship that maybe need to be taken to your magistrates. And he'll explain the circumstances of us bumping into the slaver ship on the way here and liberating the crew. Liberating
selling the ship.
slaves.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, we saw that coming in. It was good deed you've done taking care of that ship. The Sita sailor has been plaguing this area for a few decades now. We thank you for taking care of them and rescuing some of their crew and prisoners. I'd be happy to get some of the magistrates to speak with them and find out what is necessary.
Okay.
So you tell them about the orcs and the Herwadi?
Yeah, Braxton to say we're going to talk with the Hawaii and see if they want to come on with us to somewhere else, or if they want to stay here with you.
That would be good. That would be good. There are some Hawaii here already that may wish to speak with them. I'm not sure how familiar you are with Hawaii, but any sort of traveling group oftentimes exchanges members for marriages. So I would expect that might be happening.
Oh, right. Okay. Sounds good.
Genetic diversity, alright?
So, did you want to speak to the Hawaii pretty quickly?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Margoth says, I need to check in with some people, but I will be returning to see what to talk to you a little bit later.
Oh, I asked. Am I on the other ship?
You've docked and brought the flitter back. Since you're not doing anything with the whale ship again, you're either going to sell it or do something with it. So.
No, I just ask her if it's legal to sell a liquid vehicle here, and does she have any directions? Because I would sell it somewhere.
You could go to the Wizard's Enclave.
Oh.
Gurdan might be interested in some of that. I don't know what it might be useful for.
Alright. Thank you.
And she'll give you some quick directions there.
Am I able to speak common around here?
It seems like there are some people. It's not a very common language, but there are some people who speak it. It tends to be broken and heavily accented.
So I would have memorized tongues and stuff, but I don't know whether or not I would have access to my spells. Because I was piloting a ship, so I assume I don't.
Yeah, you won't for at least 12 hours.
Yeah.
Braxon will ask Margoth if she needs anything, and he'll also say, do you think there's somewhere around here I could see if I could purchase a spell book?
That was also something Lafdul was thinking about doing.
She points at Lafdul and says, "Well, I've already given him directions to the Wizards Enclave if you wish to go with him."
Oh, okay, yeah. Could we swing past the Hawaii before we do that, or?
Yeah.
I could just.
Yeah, they're still on the whale ship. You can see there's a handful of Hawaii coming down to the docks now to check out the new ship, and the orcs are already being led off. Their hands have been tied. You've noticed?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, cautions, I suppose.
I
I will be...
Are there any of the magistrates with them?
It looks like it's just guards right now.
Braxon will see if he can see one of the guards that's talking, so that he can try to talk to them.
They seem to be just doing like direction type comments to the orcs.
Yeah. Well, Braxon's going to try to talk. What are the guards?
So it's a mixed group. You see a gnoll. There's another bugbear.
Right.
There's a few
Well,
Hawaii, and there's some hobgoblins.
It's a goblin he's been learning, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He'll try and talk goblin to them. Say, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Can you hear me?"
One of the hobgoblins. I mean, it's pretty obvious that they can all understand that. One of the hobgoblins, you'd guess he's in charge, turns to you and says, kind of suspiciously, "Aye, what do you want?"
Would you please pass a message on to the magistrate on my behalf? My name's Braxon Miacc. I'm the captain of the ship over there, and he points to the Battle Dolphin. We fought to liberate the slaves on this ship, and I called for the crew to overthrow the slavers. I just wanted to make it clear that although these people may have committed crimes in the past, they helped us to overthrow the Illithids. If I'm needed to make some sort of witness statement, I'm willing to do that, and the rest of my officers will probably be willing to do that as well.
You see him kind of smiling as you're relating all that, and he gives a chuckle and says, "No, there's no need. I take it you're worried that we might be putting them to death."
Maybe. I just wanted that to be. I just wanted to make sure it was clear that they had tried to make some sort of amends.
I understand. Margoth has already informed us of what happened. You don't have to worry. They will not be put to death. They will not be allowed to leave, however. If they do not wish to embrace Meriadar as all of us have, they will be required to perform normal labor in the farms.
Braxon's going to bow to him and the other guards and say, "Thank you very much for your time."
Have we heard of Meriad?
Meriadar? No, I don't think any of you have.
I wonder if our goblin friend would have said what that deity is.
She has not mentioned him at all.
Alright.
So the hobgoblin gives you a something that you think is a salute of some sort.
Yeah, Braxton is saluting back.
Well, you probably wouldn't because you would realize that. I mean,
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's just not appropriate for someone
Dismissed.
from a different or not in a military to give a salute, kind of thing.
Okay. Braxon give him a nod.
Well, I mean, you already bowed, so
Yeah.
you,
Fair enough.
you'd realize that the salute is in response to your bow.
Got ya.
And he takes the orcs away. The orc's looking very bewildered right now.
Braxon will say to the orcs in Goblin, "Good luck to you all."
You're not sure that they understood that.
Okay.
So you see them move up into the city and out of sight, and you return to the... Oh, you wanted to go talk to the Haredi? Was anyone else going to talk to them as well?
Mhm. Yes, Leva would come with.
Okay.
I would come with for the moment, but I would indicate that I would like to see the Wizard's Tower at some point.
Yeah. Just wanted to,
Leva would go with that too.
I just wanted to check in with. We'll head off. Is Finn around? Braxon's going to check his pockets in case there's a mouse in his pockets or anything.
I mean, that's just rude, just hanging on your person willy-nilly. That sounds like something Lafdul would do if he could do that.
Well, first off, I usually do that as a snake.
Mm.
Okay.
See, the advantage of doing that as a snake is that if Braxon finds another mouse hanging around, then Finn gets a free meal.
Braxon's going to check his belt to make sure it hasn't turned into a snake.
Snake belt. That's an item though, isn't it? No.
So, did you want Finn to go with you?
No,
Yeah,
it's up to him.
Finn will go anyway.
Okay.
Whether he's invited or not.
Is Ockar coming?
Yeah.
Are there any
Okay.
rules on Beowulf?
I think I'll leave Behemoth behind.
Okay.
Ah, Beowulf doesn't get walkies.
All right. So you go over to the whale ship, and the Haredi are there. They've made as best as they can an accounting of what they think was their wealth. And that was... So they would be telling you this.
Uh-huh.
Give me a second. So 2,000 copper pieces, 1,000 silver pieces, and 500 gold pieces. They believe that's roughly where their ship's wealth was when it was attacked.
Do we have the wealth of the ship here?
Yeah, you've already collected it.
Oh, right.
We have it. I'm just saying because we have. I'll link it into the Discord chat. What was the amendments? Sorry.
The amount that the Haredi believe they had, 2,000
Yeah.
copper pieces, 1,000 silver pieces, and 500 gold pieces.
All right. I will update the notes and I can give that to Finn, and Finn can update.
Okay.
Go all right with that.
Yep, that works. Just
Yeah,
give me
we'll
the
trust.
totals to add in.
Okay. And you're fine giving that to them?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We trust them.
They thank you for that. And the new leader of the group, because they inform you that their former captain and officers were all killed, as far as they know. The new leader of the group is Lovash, and he says, "We thank you for freeing us. We've heard already that there may be some Haredi here. There may be a number of my tribe who wish to stay and settle down, but we have no ship, we have no means of traveling, and it sounds like this hidden port is not exactly a destination for many ships. If you have the space, would you be willing for us to join your crew? Some of us."
Oh yes, we were gonna discuss that. We do have some business in town, arrangements, and you have some things to check out. So, how about you check out the local arrangements with Hawaii and see if anyone's interested in coming with us, and then we'll see how many people wish to come with us. Braxton's going to say the name of Browspace. Have you heard of Browspace?
We have not. But we had no destination in mind. We were just
Right.
exploring, wandering.
Well, Hawaii are welcome in there. That's where we're heading ultimately. If you want to stop off somewhere on the way, we can discuss this as we go along.
We thank you.
But let us let's see what arrangements we have. You can see to your people and the other people and see what's going on.
Indeed, I have no idea how many of my people will wish to stay at this time anyway. I, for one, would prefer to move on and see more of the spheres.
And perhaps we can. We'll have at least one Hawaii then.
Yeah, you'll definitely have more. And I mean, given that there's 60 of them and they're not asking you to take on the entire group, it may even be that you go to them and say, "Hey, we can take on X number of you," and so some of them would come, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We should probably go over our crew limit this time.
Yeah.
As we got redundancy.
Yeah, what Braxton says, we're probably ultimately going to sell this ship, but you might as well use it as your living quarters in the meantime.
We thank you for that. We do appreciate that. How long do you think you'll be staying here in the port?
Well, we need to find someone who's going to help us work out how to get to where we need to go to. We were thrown across space by a cosmic storm, and we're trying to work out the way home.
The wizards would have a pretty good idea, I would imagine.
Wow, a cosmic storm. I have heard legends, but I have never met anyone who has actually been transported by one. That is quite impressive. I think you would have many good stories to share with us. And his common is heavily accented, but it is he is able to speak it.
We can share stories on the voyage.
Indeed. I look forward to that. But you probably have things that you need to do around town. We'll let you do that. There are Hawaii here that we would like to meet.
Yes. We might even need a bit of shore leave for our crew. They've been through a couple of battles.
Indeed.
So,
yeah,
understandable.
A few days.
Very much understand that. It will take us some time to make our decisions anyway.
I'll meet with my officers and we'll estimate how long we'll be here, and then we can come back to you. In the meantime, if you need anything of us, just come to the ship and ask for one of us.
Thank you. We do appreciate that.
And Braxton will introduce himself and the other officers.
Okay. I think you probably would have already, but
yeah,
that's fine. All right. So you return to your ship for the moment.
No, Lafdul wanted to go to buy something.
Yes, I get that. But your ship,
do
your
a
ship
few
is
minutes.
Your ship is also literally right next to the whale ship, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
What do you guys want to do next? You've got pretty much the whole day in front of you.
Lafdul's busy adding money to his character sheet, though. We just got paid out for, so.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, people should do it when it's done. Otherwise, people don't know.
I'm not arguing. I just hadn't seen it.
Wait, we got paid out?
Yeah, well, you're not reading Discord.
I was not. I'll see it.
I mean, it can be, wait. That can wait until after sessions too sometimes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is. But considering we're going to be spending money in a town.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do first?
we should go to the wizard's place. Lafdul's assumed it's kind of like an officer's meeting. Lafdul say we should probably get Lanaris the spell book.
Should we take him with us?
Yeah. He gets to pick his own spell book. I mean, I'm willing to pay for it if no one else.
How much is the spell book?
1,000
1,000.
for a standard one.
Okay. Go half each.
Well, if either the company was either going to pay for it or I was going to pay for it out of
I
my
don't
own
think-
sake.
I don't think the company should pay for it.
I will pay for it entirely.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, Lafdul seems to like having a Imperial
I just
Navy
like
guy in his
him.
debt, right?
No. I just
joking.
believe in the elven cause. So,
That's good.
and he's willing to contribute towards it. So, considering he has been brought back from dead by them.
Okay. Give me just a second. All right, so you'd be looking for a 100-page spellbook.
Yeah, if he's content with that.
Liver would be up for one too, despite just having one in reserve.
Can never have too many books.
Yep, especially empty ones.
All right. So the bad news is that it's actually
don't have-
5,000.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a lot.
just
more
a
expensive than I
second.
thought.
There's
It's not that I can't afford it. It's going to be pretty much robbing me of like my entire income.
yes.
Wait,
'Cause
it's
it's-
5,000 gold pieces to get what he wants?
It's 50 gold pieces per page, 100 pages. That's 5,000.
Oh, jeez. Do
Okay.
they take?
Yes, Liver takes one.
Yeah. Do they take trade buys? Because this decides whether or not I can buy one.
Why don't you actually go to the Wizard's Tower and ask first?
All right.
I do have one question.
Yeah.
What do I do about the, 10% of my income?
All right. So, you can ask around looking for a lawful good organization or a cause that you like here that fits your ethos. Since you are so far away, I would say that you can wait as long as you're keeping in mind that you need set the money aside, mark it out of what you're getting, and it can wait until you get to someplace where you are comfortable with.
Yeah, I'll see if I'll ask around the town to see if there's any organizations like that here, and if not, I'll do that.
Okay. You could also wait until Margoth gets back and talk to her specifically if you want.
I'll try asking around first.
Okay. All right, let's go to the Wizard's Tower first. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is everyone going, or is it, or who's? Is there anyone who doesn't want to go?
Lafdul's gonna go.
Braxon go. I don't know if he's allowed in Wizard Tower.
I'm just gonna be asking around about my own things so they can go on without me.
Okay. And Leva, you're going?
Yes.
All right. Finn?
Finn might just go with Ockar this time.
Okay. All right. So, Braxon, Lafdul, and Leva, you would go. Solas would probably go as well, but he's going to stay in the background. And you follow the directions that Margoth gave you. The town is pretty easy to navigate. The streets are fairly grid-like, and while there is signage that you can't read, they do tend to have little pictures that kind of help you orient yourself and stuff like that. But the grid-like nature...
Are any of the signs in Goblin?
They all are. So you can read them, but the others can't.
Right. But doesn't that come on and off depending on where?
Right, yes, because
where
you're not
somebody-
learning that. That's not what you're learning. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are written in Goblin. So you do work your way up to one of the higher levels of the city, and this seems to be kind of an administrative district. There are some larger buildings. You do see a large structure that you guess is a temple. And I probably should have looked this up beforehand, seen what I wrote about those temples. Give me a second.
Braxton's basically going to be a translator for Lafdul and Ebha if they need it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So, the structure is fairly well lit. You're not getting much direct light from the that little dim fire body that's in this large cave, but there's some reflected light off the walls and stuff like that, and there are some large lanterns placed around that give it a nice, warm, inviting glow. It's fairly sturdy. Definitely has a look of hobgoblin construction to it. But there are also large glass windows that are very well designed with multicolored glass panes. But you pass that by to find a tower. It's a fairly stout tower, not particularly tall. Looks like it might only have 3 or 4 levels on it. But that is the tower that you were directed to. You head up to it and find a large wooden or mushroom wooden door. And it is standing open for you to just walk right on in.
Totally not ominous.
It actually is not. Like the construction is sturdy and everything like that, but it's fairly inviting. And once you get inside, there are polished marble floors and exquisite ceramic vases lining this foyer, which is kind of incongruous to one of the creatures that comes up to greet you as you enter, because it is another one of the misshapen mongrel men. You see a hand that is at least the size of an ogre, and on one arm, and the other arm is a kobold's hand, and this creature is wearing a hooded robe as it comes up to you, and it is holding a book of some sort. And it speaks to you as you come into this really well-appointed chamber and says, "Welcome to the Enclave. How can I help you?"
Is he speaking in common?
language?
Yeah, it's common. It's broken. I mean, it's not exactly broken common, but it is heavily accented.
Braxton's going to say, "Looks like you two don't need a translator, but I'll hang around in case."
Lafdul will say, I have some curiosities that wizards would be interested in. So I'm interested in selling stuff, like Illiphidic or some vials of blood and stuff, if that piques their interest at all. And I would be interested in purchasing a spellbook.
Spellbook. Well, I will see what we can do about that, and I'll put out the word of what you are interested in selling. I will fetch the master of the tower. Gurdan would probably be the one that you would most like to speak with. If you will just wait here. and he kind of shuffles off. You'd guess that even though his legs appear to be about the same length, you'd guess that one foot is a different size than the other, which alters his gait. But he heads off into the tower, and it's about 10 to 15 minutes before another figure comes out. He is wearing a robe like the other one, but it is nicer. The hood is pulled back, which lets you see the face of this mongrelman. Looks like half of it is an ogre, and the other half is a hobgoblin, except it's not like right down the middle. It's more like kind of at an angle. And you also see a bugbear ear sticking out as well. He's a bit straighter backed than the others that you've seen, but he also has two different, very different hands on his arms as he approaches you and introduces himself. I am Gurdan. I am the master wizard here. I have not met too many wizards from outside this enclave. It is quite an honor to receive you, and one such as yourselves of the longer-lived races. And he gives a bit of a bow to both Leva and Lafdul.
Laura, Thingy's with us as well.
I'm sorry?
I assume. Lenelius would be with us as well.
Ah, okay.
I assume.
Yeah, if Lenelius, if you brought Lenelius along, then
Yeah.
he would encompass
I would be
him.
telling him that I'd be seeing if I can get him a book.
Yeah, he would encompass Lenelius in that bow then as well.
I will give the same courteous respect that he's given me, so you bow back, I guess.
Now, I understand you're looking for a spell book.
Yes, we were, our journey has been rather an interesting one, shall we say. We are not from this sphere, we are stranded here, I suppose you could say.
Yes,
And
indeed. I have heard such from. I don't remember if you got the name of that Shrike ship, but he mentions a name.
Shrike ship.
Yeah, you met a Shrike ship a while back.
Kobolds.
No,
Yeah.
it was the ship that you met with on the direction of Margoth that then directed you to the cave with the Herwadi and the giant reptilian creatures.
right.
Oh, them.
Yeah.
Alright.
So he indicates that he has heard from that ship already about you guys.
Out of sphere travelers recently arrived.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Lafdul will indicate, have you ever heard of a cosmic storm? And that's how we arrived here from. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Kryn space. Probably a lot of spheres you won't recognize.
I have
I may
never
mention.
heard of that sphere, no. But cosmic storms, yes, I have heard of them. Many, many rumors about them being able to transport people from one place to another. It is fascinating to finally meet someone who has experienced that.
Yes, interplanar travel is well beyond my abilities, and well, maybe one day. Yeah, so we were on a mission to rescue Lenelius here, and we eventually did so, and we ended up here after a cosmic storm took us here. But unfortunately, Lenelius doesn't have a spellbook, so we're trying to acquire one. I have some items for trade. I will say I've got 2 black vials of ancient black dragon worm blood, though it's slightly over a month old now, so I don't know how good that is.
Quite interesting. Yes, we could provide a spell book for suitable funds or trade.
I've got 10 vials of illithid ichor as well. And I will mention, do you take trade bars?
Yes,
will
yes,
show
of
one.
course. We'll take such things. For the weight of metal in it, of course. That's pretty normal.
Alright, then I will say, obviously, the 2 vials of Black Dragon Blood, the 10 Illithid Ichor vials, and obviously the rest I'll make up with trade bars or currency
All right.
for the spellbook.
So he, without opening them, he does inspect the vials. Like, are they glass vials?
Yes.
All right. So he's like shaking them a little bit, see if they, they've clotted.
I say the Illithid Ichor's about 2 days old, AOT, fairly fresh. Although the Ancient Dragon was about over a month ago.
Yes, I would take the dragon blood for 200 each and the illithid for 30 each.
Let me just run that on the calculator. 200. So 700 off the 5,000. I obviously ask him how much he's selling for a spell, but it's the standard price, 5,000.
Yeah, so he quotes you 5,000 gold pieces, but he does say that he'd be interested in any objects of an arcane nature that you may not be interested in keeping.
That's why I was getting rid of the reagents I'm just holding on to.
Well, he also means like potions, scrolls, magic items, if you have anything like that that you want to try trading off.
You ask. Oh.
Braxon's going to turn to Lafdul and say, well, I don't know if it counts as party treasure, but do you think you'd be interested in that magical pool?
A serious helm?
We might have destroyed it. I don't know what it was.
Well, we emptied it out of all the illithid tadpoles.
Yeah.
No, I'm not interested in helms. I'm much too old to go traveling.
So you vicariously live through stories. It's a good way.
Don't think anyone here would be able to use anything from an illithid vessel anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see for stuff. I mean, I have stuff.
Right, but it's up to you. If you want to trade
For the
it.
moment, it would just be currency.
I mean, he'll take that too, so you don't have to worry about that.
No, because it's stuff that I can go through backwards. I mean, I've got metal vials of like Illithid Noble it could, but they're like months old and they're probably too dried at this point.
Yeah, he's not really. He's unless you have something exceptionally rare and that is non-perishable. He means like magic items.
Not really.
All right. So you can just pay for the rest in coin.
Yeah.
All right.
Give it to Linnaeus and say that cost me a small fortune.
He waves. Well, you wouldn't get it yet. Hold on.
Yeah.
The mongrelman waves to another mongrelman that you didn't even notice was in the shadows, and he kind of scurries off into further into the tower. Actually, I'll say also this: you've been led into kind of a sitting room. It's very, very comfortable. Although, like, the furniture is all in styles that you've never seen before, but it's very comfortable. It's very well made, out of mushroom wood, and some sort of cloth that you don't know. But after a few minutes, the apprentice comes back in with a spellbook. It is an exceptional quality spellbook. Lafdul, you're not a wizard.
No,
but
other wizards would be like, oh.
Solas, Leva, and Linnaeus would be impressed by its quality. It's a very well made book. Has leather, very hard, thick leather covers, vellum pages, and as far as you can tell, it is very well bound.
Lever hugs the book. Finally.
Well, that's for Linelius.
Oh, okay.
You haven't bought one yet.
Well, I
Yes.
discounted the money, so I in my brain, in my head, I bought it.
Okay, well, you'll have to negotiate with him in a moment once this one is done. So,
He might say, "I'm sorry, we only had one."
he might, yeah, he might. Lafdul,
Mm-hmm.
you're handed this book and you hand it over to Linelius.
Mm-hmm. Looks like you might be able to help us out with spells now.
I am extremely grateful. I cannot express my appreciation, and rest assured, you will be rewarded in full for what you have done.
It's kind of like I owe a debt to the Elven people, so I don't know how long it will ever take me to pay that back, but I'm always willing to show my appreciation for giving me a second chance, because I was brought back from death.
Have you told
And-
him about that before?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Lafdul was just reiterating, it'll take me a while to ever repay that, but I'm trying to contribute as much as I can.
I understand, and I greatly appreciate it, and I look forward to being able to assist in greater ways than I have before. And he's carefully, holding it, and you can tell that he is very appreciative for what you did.
Now, if only they had a bag of holding.
Mm.
But not that I can afford that as well, but
So, Leva, at that point, you speak up and ask for to purchase one. As
Yes.
Well?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, yes, this will be taking our last one. We'll have to. We do make more for the apprentices, but I think we can spare it for well-traveled, well-meaning outsiders. The price would be the same. Of course, if you wish to trade anything, I'd be more than happy to look at any items of arcane significance that you may have.
Out of curiosity, would it be interested in Dead Ironstone?
I'm
I'm just curiously asking.
Not really.
Alright.
I mean,
I'm not
he'd
even
take
sure
it.
if I
He'd
should throw
take
them
it.
away.
He'd take it for a little bit of money. I mean, you might still be able to use it in magic
Yeah,
item
I'll keep
creation.
them. I just wasn't sure.
But
If
anyway,
it was.
Leva.
No, she doesn't have anything that she would like to trade in.
Okay.
But she does have the 5,000 gold.
Okay. All right, and he will take the money and send the apprentice to fetch another spellbook for you. This one is the quality is the same, but it is clearly different. Like the cover is going to be a different color.
Mm-hmm.
Pages are a slightly different shade, slightly different size, but still of the same exceptional quality.
Oh, Leva is so happy. She hugs the book and she goes, oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I was not expecting that sort of reaction. Is that typical among your kind?
She tells him that she had to live with, for how long? For a few weeks, I think, for a week or so, without access to a spell book.
You've got several spellbooks. You just wanted an empty one.
Yes, she didn't have access to an empty spell book.
You could have raised it. But I know that's like
No.
sacrilege to
We
them.
missed that. We talked about that a long time ago. We decided not to erase them. You can do the erase when you are alone, but when you share the books with other people and we have other people come in as guests and so on, it's better not to just erase them.
Well, it's up to you and Solas, so.
All right. Well, I am happy to provide. Is there anything else that I can do for you?
Lafdul says, are you familiar with any of the nearby spheres? I list around. I just list some like random spheres. He recognizes any of them.
Are you listing random spheres that you know from around Brawl?
Yeah, I just sitting at all the spheres that I know. So like winter space,
Yeah, he is not familiar
obviously
with
Brawl
any of them.
space, hero space, tier space, grey space.
And the ones that he mentions to you are ones that you've heard of before here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not any that are familiar to you.
So it's a shame. We could make inquiries to the what was that slug person called? I'm trying to think. I might have in my notes.
The Fall?
Yeah, the foal. Sage slug. No,
Yeah, when
Yeah.
we meet the foal, don't call him the slug person.
the howl. Yeah.
Just as a suggestion.
Is it pronounced foul? But I've wrote it as H-A-L.
It's FAL.
Oh,
It's actually something like Valamandria or something.
Yeah, it's a much longer one. Just Foul for sure.
I've adjusted my notes. Yeah, I'll make inquiries if he knows of a file in this sphere that we're trying to seek. Some other awesome.
I believe Margoth was going to be sharing that information with you. I will leave that to her.
Oh, he's already spoken to Margoth, apparently.
Or he's just aware of the... I mean, like... He obviously already has information from the Shrike ship that you met. And the Shrike ship, this was already communicated to them.
Alright. I'm out of things to say. What about you guys?
Oh, sounds like they're out of things too. And we are at about the point to where we can take our break. So I think we'll take our break. If you guys think of anything afterward, like during the break that you want to ask him, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll go and have Ockar figure out if there's any place that he wants to tithe here.
I was pretty much coming to exactly what Lafdul did, but he did it with his own money instead, so...
Yeah, Lafdul believes in the Elven cause, so that's why he's willing to give money to it.
Alright, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes, everyone. A good time to get something to drink, stretch your legs, that sort of thing. And we will see you shortly.
See you on the other side.